7v7 random map as I like it, and we're going to have just a few high rated players on this. Just a few. The average team ratings are both over 2,000, so you know it's a good one. You know there's high rated players on this, and well, shit, let's have an introduction of these guys. We've got team 1 is actually up here at the top, team 2 over here on the bottom, and there's just mass everywhere. So many extractors to go for. There's mass 25k reclaim to be had, enough to fight over, of course, and of course territory is going to be important because there are so many mass extractors to be had. But let's introduce the players that we have, starting out with team number 1. First off, here in the purple, in the Seraphim colors, it is Tursto. Tursto's got himself his factory going for a bit of double adjacency. Just on the front beside him, it is an Omniparatus. I'm probably just going to call him Omnia. Anyway, he is Seraphim as well, and he is in the highlighter green color. Further down on the other front, this direction, lavender, it's FTX Commando breaking the Seraphim mold and going with UEF. Already working on his Hydro. Sitting up behind him in bright blue, it is Bloodair. I haven't said that name for a while, but Bloodair is here. He's Siren, deep blue, go him. And joining him in Aeon, it is Macronoob. Macronoob is white, working on his Hydro there as well. And beside Macronoob, very close by, it is Deli. Deli is in the standard green, and he is Seraphim. And finally, for team number 1, all here in maybe the air guard position. I don't know if he's going to be air, if he's going to expand down this way because there's so much space. But anyway, this is Resinoob, and Resinoob has himself his Aeon in a brilliant pink colour. So we do have every faction representation for team number 1. We have 3 Seraphim, 2 Aeon, 1 UEF and 1 Siren. Rightio, let's have a gander at team number 1, and I'm just going to slow this right down because there's a bomber on the way already from the wheelie. Really has got himself UEF. He's got burgundy color, and as mentioned, he's actually got a bomber on the way, so that's why I basically slowed it right down. I want to catch that and see what it does. Beside the wheelie in the combat green color, it is F Putin. He is Siren up here from Putin in red, UEF, and it is walking towards the front already. Terrari, his commander, is on the move. In front of Terrari, still starting to walk as well, it is Hachama, and he is Siren in the pale pink color. Further down on this side, the other front player, it is Tagada. Tagada is orange. He's UEF. He likes his UEF, I think. Or they're just going random. I don't know. I'm talking to my ass. And then in the grey colour, it is Trith as Aeon working on. He's doing 2 power generators at once. A curious choice. Most people do one, then the other, rather than 2 at once. And finally, for team number 2, all the way at the back here, it is Mr. Arene. Arene is UEF in the pale blue colour. So I'm going to pop... There we go. We have, well, the lowest rated player on this is a Pro 1700. That is shared by Trith and Arene. The highest rated player is actually Tagada and the Wheelie. No, I take that back. Bloodair peaks the highest rated player at 2500, but the next on his team is 2200, whilst we have 24, and 23 on team number 2. They've done pretty good with the balance, 2014 to 2029 on average. And the balance rating is 93%, so we're going to see some very interesting things coming along. These are some very high rated players, but anyway, here comes the bomber. Now we can either watch this bomber in slow motion and see just exactly what its plan is, or we can actually speed it up and go normal. That's fine. Alright, so first bomber out, and it is from the wheelie. And he's going to be kind of annoying about that. I think he is targeting this engineer right here. It's going to be a double damage if he does, because not only will it kill the engineer, it's going to kill off some of the reclaim as well. There we go, first bomb out, success. And now he is turning around and going over here, although there's an anti-air unit been popped up by Omina, so he was expecting this, and a second one from Commando, but that bomber did get a few kills over here. There were a bunch of engineers there, so 1 NG, bit of reclaim, a few more NGs. And while that bomber might not have lived long, it still did a decent amount of damage, and now along comes the counter bomber from Omnia. There's no other bombers in the air, no early aggression, no, it's just going to be this guy. No scouts going with him, or the scout has already passed a long time ago. In fact, here's a drop coming up from Putin. If that bomber was to loiter, it might be able to deny the drop. Maybe, but anyway, the bomber is hunting for something. I think it's maybe tagged on an NG, is flying in a nice straight line, or is it going to loiter and stop once that transport goes past, because there's an interceptor protecting the bomber stops and turns around, realizes that was a very fast drop. That bomber has turned around, but instantly those engineers have split to be distracting. Transport dumps the other engineers up there, and oh, this guy. Second bomber comes and picks up those 3 engies with a single bomb, and these guys aren't going to get much done. That transport was spotted, the bombers were in the air, and they decided between them that these engineers didn't deserve to live. And between them they have got themselves 6 kills on engineers. The bombers are shot down by some friendly interceptors, but just too little, too late, because they have already stopped the expansion, and that was worth its weight in mass. Definitely. Like, all of this sitting up in it was a whole lot. And then we have over here, it is Commando. He's done an edge build with his commander to get onto the plateau, got a factory down, and now going to start popping out some engies. He's going to look at grabbing the eco that is sitting there. In the meantime, nobody's going for this side just yet. Was there another drop coming with another transport? A transport is a heavy investment. Now, it's quite a bit of a loss to lose at this early in the game, especially when you were trying to get an advantage like that. No eco reward from having completed it. I saw another transport. There it is. That is out from Tagada. He's just dropping some engies around. Going to look at maybe picking up the mixes while he can. Maybe he's going to make a play for the plateaus, but he's been beaten to this one here by... who is that? That is Delhi. That is Delhi. He's got some engineers down and they are already working on, but here's another T1 bomber. So harassment, name of the day. They're going to get out of the way in time. No, that one isn't. This one's still moving, but the bomber's going to circle back around, and that may be the end of that guy. We have this transport from Tagada is being chased now. There's some interceptors coming up behind it from Blodair. They're trying to pick off something. If they see the transport, maybe they'll turn around, lock onto it. Yes, they have. And Tagada needs to drop that energy before it dies. He does. Transport may not survive there. He's got some defending inties, but the too many around here from Blodair. Perhaps 40 health. No, it's going to go down next pass, I think. No, it survives. Just a little bit. I see another harassing bomber out. This is from Arane. It's going to go hunting for some engineers like this one that has been dropped on the ground. Bombs away, and Engie dead. It's going to go find something else to pick up next. Is also a scout trying to point out the next targets. Could be over here. There's 3 engineers just waiting to die. Although I think his focus is going to be on this guy. Yep. The coincidental stop from that engineer as it starts to build the mass extractor keeps it alive. Just for now, they've got some upgrades going on up in this direction. It is, yes, does the wheelies get an upgrade, whilst Terrari just stands there and shoots things point blank. Up this direction, there has been another drop from Putin. This time he's got engineers onto the ground. How long will they last? Well, they'll last a while because he's supporting ground forces coming over from Terrari, which are going to help shore this up from ground rampages. Alright, back down this direction, and note the bomber has died. Managed to kill off a few engineers, so there's not much left. I hear more bombers, but don't see them. I think they're not down here. This is just an anti-scrap down here. Bit of air versus air. Got some anti-air on the ground. Got interceptors in the region. That should be alright. Ah, there's the bomber. Sneaky little bomber. Come on through from Blodair, but I got 1 kill to a stand. I don't know what it's killed though. Truth is here with this comms. It's going to survive. Although there we go. It's going to pick up another engineer down here. See you later, buddy. Just shot down afterwards. This T1 bomber annoyance is just everywhere. Oh, what's this going for? Spotted an engineer? Nope, just flying on through with some support. Going to go for the radar. Radar is always a good pick. Denying the intel is brilliant. And a Jester out, and it's killed off some engineers and prevented the air defense from being put up. So that's just an irritation. There's plenty of factories here they'll be able to rebuild, and more T1 bombers coming out. So it is T1 Air Central down this direction. There's an engineer that was dropped off here by Resinoob, who changes his mind and thinks, okay, maybe not. Maybe I won't drop in front of a commander and some ground units, and the transport tries to fly away, but now has been picked up by some interceptors and is probably going to die. Will it get the engie off in time? No, it won't. Might have been able to drop it there, grab those rocks, but no dice. Checking out the top section over here in the meantime, Terrari's pushed right on up with his T1 ground units. Got some anti-air in the mix, as you're going to need to when there's been T1 bombers ahoy, but he's got quite a bit more on the ground than he Gusto does, and it is a warning as to just exactly how much is coming his direction. Gun upgrade going down for Tursto is just about done. We also have gun for an Omnius. We have 2 gun comms ready to rumble versus a non-gun com. Terrari does not want to be there. He might be on full health now, but he will drop pretty darn quickly. And yeah, he wants to get away from that. 2 gun comms will absolutely devour your health. The wheelie has gun and nano, which is going to be a bit of a saving grace for him. He will be the one who needs to try and take damage, try and get the veterancy. If he can kill off the units, it will help a huge amount. So I would still maybe lean towards Team 1 with this. So they've got 2 gun comms, which can dish out a lot more damage, especially to the ground units. Terrari is fallen right on back. He cannot compete with this, unfortunately. His unupgraded commander does not have the range to do this fight, does not have the damage to do this fight, and it's going to be up to the wheelie to try and hold the line by himself, though he needs to pull back now because, well, Terrari is right back. Terrari jumps into an upgrade right there. He knows he needs to try and get into the fight to help because wheelie is doing everything at the moment, and Tursto is pushing on in. Not much he can do at this point, really trying to get away. He's got the nano upgrade, which will help him, especially if Omnia falls back, which he does. And Tursto, nope, Omnia's turned back around. It was really pushed on back because now it is Tursto. They're going to shove at the wheelie, who takes a face full of T1 Arty, but they're going to keep them. He just needs to keep them away long enough for Terrari to get his upgrade, and then it will be good. Stalemate up the top there. We see Terrari's fallen back with his units. He probably was focused a wee bit more here at the time. Really trying to get things done again. Down to under 7,000. His opponent is down under 4,000, but it is 2 versus 1. Really needs to get that gun upgrade done because at the moment the wheelie is going to be struggling. That 2v1 is not looking good for him. Just quick check on the rest map, see how things are going. We have a static bit of a T1 war going on, although having said that, we've got some stingers down here from Tagada, and they're making a nuisance of themselves. Gun upgrade going down there for a commando. But right here's where everything is, and Terrari has finished his gun upgrade, and now it is going to be advantage Team 2 due to that nano upgrade on the wheelie's comm as well. And if you look at the unit count as well, that's going a wee bit in the favour of Team 2. They've got some extra spam coming in to help out. And now Tursto down into the red, and it is Terrari pushing. He's going to keep on pushing, I think. He should be safe enough, though. Maybe not running into 2 commanders, T1 AA, and all this ground fire. Down into the yellow very quickly. But are they going to catch Tursto? No, they are not. Maybe. No. Not quite. Tursto gets out with 100 health. One more shot would have done for him. Just one more bullet. But they cannot afford... Oh, Janus, never mind. Never mind. You're not getting out of the fire. You're burning to death. And Tursto, after a valiant effort of getting away with 100 health, honestly, one more shot and he would have been done. Some Janus turn up, and there was no way he was escaping the burning fire of those. Really gets the first kill pretty much on the 10-minute mark of the game, and Omnia is now running for his life. He's down to 2,000 now. He hasn't even managed to rank a veterancy, which would give him some extra health and some extra regen. He may get it off these units that are pushing him now, although they have been turned around. Nicely turned around. Don't want to just run into that and hand it over. I hear an Elshiva, and it is happily shooting at a wall section this engineer's throwing up. And now comes the push from Omnia. He's got, of course, his unit's been handed over. They're not able to quite catch that Engie. He's hiding very well behind the walls. Jane is coming out. Not dropping any bombs. Strange decision. I thought for sure this would be a prime spot for bombs. There we go. Here's another one. And look at all that burning. So much fire and so much destruction at one pass. Gets itself 10 kills of T1 units. Very effective against clumped up T1s they are. Let's have a look down the bottom side. What is going on? Well, those stingers were being annoying. They have finally been annoying enough that Bloody has decided to kill them. That is the T1 spam on the ground now. Take it to roll on through these guys. They have got a giant gap. They can just simply run on through here. Nothing to stop them if they just keep on going. Now it looks like Delhi has recognized the threat, is trying to reposition some of his ground spam to counter, and Taggart has actually stopped his regrouping. Maybe just moving and holding a little bit of stealth upgrade going down for Putin, who has gun as well. Nano repair is completed for Terrari, so that is... he's got a gun nanocom. And Wheelie has a gun nanocom, and he's regened up to full health already. 1600 health on that commander. He's having a good old grand old time just cleaning things off, but we have Macronoob as double gun Aeon, so he can outrange the wheelie. We have Resinoob, just a standard commander, and over this direction is Omnia has gun and is trying to get Nano on his commander. He needs to try and do something to counter this because he's about to get wrecked in the face, although he does have T2 on the ground. Those Ilshivers are quite nasty indeed. Some overcharges on those though from the wheelie will take care of them, and this T1 Arty means he cannot really walk in a straight line. Now Macronoob is joined into the fight with his comp. Of course he outranges the wheelie just a little bit, but there are still a bunch of Janus around. The wheelie's not giving up on that T2 air just yet, because he can still cause damage, and that's a Strat Bomber coming on out. It's got itself 7 kills. Killed off a T2 mix, T2, and another pair of T2 mixes up there. So killed off T2 PGen, T2 mix, killed off a bunch of engineers, and picked up another pair of T2 mixes over there. Done pretty good. Looks like he killed that mix as well. This has been a drop, I think. Yes, it is. It's a brick up on here, just doing the business, getting rid of all this on the way up. And this is where the action is right now, though. It is the wheelie and Terrari gun nano UEF comms are bossing this area. Macronoob is kiting as much as he can. He can't afford to really just run into that and slap him down a radar, because I'm guessing they don't have any. Really needs to be a wee bit careful. Down into the yellow, won't take too long. It's a lot of Ilshivers. They can dish out the damage, as can walking into Zui fire. Look at that, just look at that health and disappear though, half dead almost. And he's needed Terrari to walk in front to soak some of that, but Terrari doesn't want to be doing that much as well. Terrari's actually worse off. He doesn't have the ranks of veterancy that the wheelie does, and his health is disappearing. He's been absolutely hammered, and he needs to get away. It is the wheelie actually trying to run his comp interference here, walk in front, take some of the shots, but Terrari's down into the red, 3000 health. Question is, can he get away while Omnia wants the kill? He is pushing, and it's now the wheelie in trouble. 8000 health, they can kill off the units that might help out, though Terrari's still getting hammered there, and he gets a rank of veterancy. It's going to help a huge amount. The question is, what now? These two guys are both very, very low. Do they go for the mutual? Do they just charge on in? Well, I don't know what Terrari's doing. He's facing the wrong way. They have got the nano though, of course that does help their life regen a lot, but only if they're not getting hammered and shot. Where is any kind of support for themselves? They don't have. They've overextended, I think, particularly Terrari. He is going to go down in a blaze of glory. The Janus overhead trying to do their things, and the wheelie now 3000 health, getting pushed still by these two guys. Macronoob has to fall back. He cannot afford to stay there, although wheelie has turned around to try and get him. Oh, he gets bumped. And he control Ks. Control Ks to catch Macronoob. He wasn't going to catch him. The factories thrown down by Omnia were going to stop him moving forward, but that was a control K to pick up Macronoob. And in the meantime, over this direction, there has been a lot of damage thrown down onto that extractor. They didn't finish it off. Oh, please. Please let that land. It does. One final T1 RD shell lands on that mass extractor, kills it off. There. Oh, dear. In the meantime, over this direction, we can see it is Tagada, not upgraded commander at all, facing off against FTX Commando, who has gun, shield, and T2 on that commander. He's looking very, very dangerous indeed. Tagada has to bring his commander in to try and overcharge some of these Titans. Pretty much all he can do is super effective though. But of course, Commando can do the same with his comp. Tagada, I think, needs to consider maybe not being there. Maybe not being there. He's got ground over this way, but he's facing off against a whole lot. Who's this? This F Putin. Putin? Oh dear. Oh dear, he has been caught up by loyalists, and this is Putin out of the game. He needed something, and that was not it. Just managed to catch him there. He was not doing so good because Truth. Is that Truth? No, Truth is on team 2. Not looking good there, and all the Putin stuff sitting back here is going to be transferred over to Tagada, who promptly gives it all over to somebody else. Tagada says, I don't want it. Hands it over to somebody else, who then gives it to RNA, who then gives it back to Tagada. So Tagada sent the Hartmacher, who sent them back to Tagada, who sent them to RNA, who sent them back to Tagada. Tagada really doesn't want them because he is already focusing on this entire front section here. He's got units on down, and what is going on? This is Delhi. Though Delhi has a gun bomb, he has plenty of support with the 1 units, although those are T3 Titans. They're going to carve through this lot. but the commander can just overcharge them out of business, and the rest of these will sweep on in and do stuff, bad stuff. More loyalists, the ones that killed off Putin and rocking through this point here. Got a T2 PD. We do have a gun com, but Truth does not want to try and tangle with that. It is a dangerous amount. Was that sniper fire? That was sniper fire. So sniper bot walking towards loyalists, though it's not a great idea. It's actually going to hurt a great deal. And speaking of T3, more coming this way. Got some Titans being backed up by FTX Commando. That is not a great thing there. Okay. So a bit of a breach on the bottom side, but hello, is this actually going to be Delhi? Delhi, does he have enough units and does he have enough health to survive this? Titans are doing the damage. T1 RT raining down, so he can't stand still. Gets a rank of veterancy, is going to help him live a little bit longer. And will that be just enough to keep him alive? Overcharging the Titans, he's actually going to get out of there 5,000 health. Or will he? In comes the T2 air. Does he have anything to stop it? Well, he's got some indies over there. Doesn't have any flags though. Pulls the renegades back. They weren't going to get enough done, I don't think. Or he reckons he's going to be able to do enough with the T1 artillery. Maybe. If Delhi's not careful, he needs to keep moving, duck, dodging and weaving, because that T1 RD will kill him if he stands still. But running out of numbers, and he will get out of there with 4,000 health. Have a quick look in the middle. Again, it is FTX Commander now, and he's decided Percivals? Nope, not tangling with Percivals. And that is the right call. Percivals will screw you up if you try and take them on. Gun, com, or no. Down here, this is Tagada. Where's Tagada going? He doesn't have any kind of upgrade on his commander, and he is getting hammered. Though he can overcharge, and it's only Titan, so that's his fortune there. That's what's keeping him alive. Some gunships come out, so they can maybe assist. Though there's a Kruger in the mix. That is going to help take those down. And Tagada, buddy, you needed to leave a long time ago. You have more Titans coming in. Your health is not that great. You do have 3 stars of veterancy, and he's got a Percival behind him. 2 Percivals coming on, and that's going to be his saving grace, I feel. Also, the gun com from Trith's coming over, so that should be able to reject this push pretty quickly, especially those extra units. And it's now Commando who needs to consider moving back, especially as there are broadswords. Oh no. Oh no, the anti-air is gone, and now there's just broadswords left to wipe things out, and Commando needs to leave, and he needs to get some air support in. All of these right here, although that is a strat bomber. It's got itself a kill, singular, non-plural. So, support commander down there. Bit of a static thing down the bottom right corner. Taggart has managed to hold that, but not really push anywhere. Delhi's also not looking terribly great. But this is the problem right now. It is facing FTX Commando. Is his commander? Where'd the broadswords go? They should be here. They should be here helping us. They could have picked him off, but... Attack? No, T3 mobile RG, that's fine. Alright, this direction, there we go. The Loyalists moving up here to kill off mixers. That's what the broadswords have been used for, to stop this raiding. And they kind of need to, because there's nothing on the ground to slow them down. Alright, Commando's getting bold with the lack of air, but he's still going to be careful. Percival's in the mix there, and Taggart getting an upgrade, going to give him some more health. Sniper bots out from Truth. You're going to start picking off these things at range. If they can keep away from the Titans, they'd be alright. But they have to try. They have to keep away. Renegades being used to mop up a few T3 units, and maybe the anti-air. It's going to ignore it actually. Just keep going for those. Kill the radar. Kill the radar. You don't want to leave the radar there up the front. What's going on here? That was a drop. Oh, gets on the ground. The transport's T2, only some T1 trying to shoot it down. And now there's a combat SACU ready to clean up this plateau. See how that goes in a minute, because right now this army is just chugging on through, coming down from Commando, and they are just wiping clean this section. But they are taking casualties from everything, chasing down some Harbingers, and Harbingers actually do pretty well for Titans. On a 1v1 they do, especially if they can keep it ranged. They got a little bit more range. One down, but they got sniper bots chasing them. They're sitting there by the edge of some T1 PD, which is also helping. Getting chased down by Titans from Tagada. Also in comes a Starlifter with a pair of Percies on it. If it drops the payload right there, these guys are done for. Well, I think they're probably done for anyway. They've got Janus over here, they got Renegades, they've got Harbingers, they've got Sniper Bots. Now the Percivals are on the ground, and it is full retreat mode. Or was a support commander, I hope? Yeah, too small for a main commander. And yeah, there we go. Commander is in full retreat with his units. Now I hope his commander is also running away. There he is. He's getting the heck out of dodge. He probably wanted to be back a bit sooner because that's Percival's chasing him down. I am hearing over here. Maybe not. Nano repair going down for Delhi. So he's got gun. He's going for Nano. And he's still got a massive army in front of him, which could be interesting to try and take out. It is must be T1 bombers somewhere. Can't see them. I heard them, but I just can't see them. Anyway, it looks like FTX is moving back towards his forces. He got some engineers in support for reclaims, good radar down, although these guys are running away. It's leaving his commander a little bit exposed. Not much near him. There's some anti-air to take care of units that come along. And what's going on here? T3 artillery is trying to hammer this support commander down, and well, it's missing. Unfortunately, it's not missing in the right direction because that shield gene goes up. It's going to be very hard to oust that guy. That looks like a bit better trajectory. Yes, indeed. That is... Hang on. That's a Billy nuke. Somebody has a Billy nuke, and it is RNA. That's what I heard before. It wasn't a support commander dying. It was a Billy nuke from RNA. He's got 22,000 mass killed on his commander, 69 kills. Nice. But look at what he did to this section here, and Bloody is in full runaway mode. Spamming up some TMD because you need to. I think you need about 3 attack missile defense. And what's going on down here? No, that is a support commander. No, combat one. Getting chased down by some bricks. It's not going to last too much longer with T3 raining down upon it and the whalers coming in. But Hex. I read that and said heck and said Hex at the same time. This is RNA, and he is, well, he's being a Billy bastard. And he is absolutely bossing it with that. So much mass killed. And he could do extra damage over here if Taggart brought his forces back. You could maybe just drop it behind all these and... Well, actually, that's a big problem for Delhi. He's getting pinched. There is the Billy command, and that is going to explode all sorts of things. And you see Taggart is paying attention. He's pulling his units back. He's trying to keep it pincered. If Delhi is still there when that Billy lands, he's going to take a whole ton of damage, which he's about to. Let's see just exactly how much he has. 17,000 health. Oh, he missed. The Billy just out of range. No damage to Delhi. And you can re-engage that army once again, but it is... Where's he going? Down there. Jump to the transport, continental with fuel and shield. Do exactly what you need when you're transporting a commander around. And he's doing it again. There's a whole lot of mass dumping going to Omna. Delhi, though, absolutely overrun by Taggart's units. The Billy was actually ineffective from RNA. It did 0 damage to Delhi's comm, but he got just swarmed by Taggart's units. And Omnia Apparatus, though, has finished an experimental. What is it? Where? There it is. It is a chicken. And that chicken is on the way. Need to zoom out, and there is RNA. So he's throwing himself into the T3 transport and flitting around the place, being a mobile Billy comm. This is basically the tactic you want to do if you're going Billy. Get yourself a continental. Be mobile and just throw those missiles in all sorts of places. There we go. There is another one loaded, ready to launch again, and it could just take out massive amounts of damage there. But there's a buzzkill, though I don't think a single buzzkill is going to do much. Hello. Saw Monkey trying to kill off the support commander, but it's doing a whole lot of fuck the ground in partials. Now it's walking up the ledge. I think it's going to be able to just pip over that. And there we go. The laser just clears the ground right on the edge. Support commander's going to die. There's another Billy nuke out from RNA, killing off a bunch of commando's units, and he is in trouble now. Nothing but Titans in this mix, while there are Percivals thrown in without thought, and some bricks coming. Although I hear the chicken. Where's the chicken? Chicken's here, chicken's advancing, and there's not a lot to stop on the ground. There's a bunch of T3. Actually, that's a good number of bricks. That will do good at slowing it down. I don't know if they can defeat it, though. This direction, it is Commando, and he's trying to pick his overcharges. If he can knock out the Percivals, he will be alright. The problem is the bricks. But even as he's trying to polish off this T3 army, and his Titans are dropping, they are running out of steam. He still has Percivals and bricks coming in, not looking good for Commando. But on the other side of things, this chicken is ready to walk on down. There was a monkey somewhere. Here it is. It's coming up this way, so maybe going the wrong way. And this chicken is ready to carry on through. But even as Commando, who's down into the yellow, his shield is broken. He has massive issues with T3 armies. He needs to run the heck away. In defense of the chicken, I saw another experiment with having completed. It's a crab. So Hachimachi has got himself a nice big megalith there. That's going to do well for holding off the Yathosa. Billy nuke out. And that catches Tagada. And Blood Air also. His comm was way up front here as well by the look of it. He's been caught by the T3 from Trith. Those harbingers have rocked straight on through. His attention, maybe it was elsewhere, was something else. Nobody knows. But that is double whammy. Excuse me, hiccups coming from who knows where. That's a double whammy. Losing Commander right there. There's also a monkey coming up, losing Blood Air down here. And what is that? That is a combat commander. Yeah, combat support commander. It'll be well enough to take a good chunk of those guys. But up here, Tagada pushing up through, killing off more eco. There's also an HQ he could turn around and murder if he felt like it. He's taking out the mixers first, and I feel like that this will be next. Just leaving these guys here to kill off as much as possible. And what else have we got going on? I don't know where that chicken went. I think it's been pulled back. It has been pulled back. So chicken's been pulled back, and just look at the orange swarm though. These ground units from Tagada everywhere. And a nuke. A nuke out from Resinoob. And where is this going? And the question is, do they have nuke defense? Well, much is running. Arene's moving his commander into the path of the nuke by the look of it. He doesn't want to be there if that nuke lands, because that Continental will die and he'll die. The nuke is coming. The nuke is coming. Oh, there's an S&D. Oh, it's not loaded. Ooh, he could have been caught in that. Dropping right in the middle of Tagada's base, and that is a huge explosion. Takes out the S&D, takes out the nuke that Tagada had. A whole lot of eco. Let's just have a look at what it actually got. It killed off 105 items, 105 units, 72,000 mass in one nuke. That was a huge nuke. Done once, and I hear it, I don't see it. There it is. Oh my. An Awasa out from Omnia. And he's got the air to back it up. Where is air? Well, there we go. There's a whole lot of air from Arene. It needs to be brought to the front. It needs to engage this air battle and win. It needs to engage the Awasa. The longer it loiters around, the worse it gets, because it can just keep doing that. Get yourself veterancy, get yourself more health. But Arene looks a wee bit reluctant to make that engage. Though I think he kind of has to. He needs to try and focus on the air first. Here's the air fight. Is it going to be a good turn? Who's got the turn? All the air has engaged. The Awasa's behind it, but right now Arene's going to try and focus on the ASFs. If he can win the air, then he can go for the Awasa at will. Looking pretty close though. And actually, I think there's more pink in the air at the moment. No, actually, it's very even. Very even fight, but no, it is coming out. Pink is in the air a little bit more. There are some SAMs on the grounds, and reinforcements are coming in, but it's going to be an air win for Resinoob. Arene's out. Now they're going to have to rely on SAMs to stop that Awasa. And Tagada is the first target. Definitely going for him. Where's all some more ASFs coming out here from Trith? There's some SAMs on the ground. There's an annoying little bit of hover bombing going on. What's he going to go for? Going to go for the Paragon. And the Paragon is Paragon. Yes, sad joke, I know. The ASFs though, in the wrong place, not defending the Awasa. It is going to be picked apart by Arene. The question is, what else can it kill with a final bomb? One more bomb. Is that the air grid going to go down? That is the air grid going to go down, and it's going to die and fall off the map. It does. Don't even get the reclaim. Off mapping, but hello, restorers, and a lot of restorers. They are carving this up, and that's Tagada. very close to those restorers. Maybe not going to have such a good time. And come the ASS from RNA, what he's got left after his air grid has been demolished. But there's a whole lot of air sitting there still. Restorers from Resinoob, and they're going to pick Tagada apart. His health is dropping. They're a bit slower restorers on the ground, but I don't think he's got enough health to survive this. Do I hear another? I do. I hear another Awasa. That is going to clear things out. Is Tagada going to survive? What's going on there? Support Commander dies over that side. That's alright. Tagada down into the yellow. 8,000. A few thousand. 6,000 health left. And still. Those restorers are around down into the red. Is there going to be enough to kill him? I don't think so. Down to 2 restorers. 3,000 health. And he survives the restorer push. Maybe. That second Awasa that I heard, which actually died over here pretty darn quick. There must have been a huge amount of SAMs to do that. Must have been a huge amount of SAMs to kill that off. But Tagada survives 3,000 health. And that Awasa is a gift of a lot of mass now. Look at all the carnage. Look at all the mass just right here on his doorstep. This is where the air fight happened. There's 75,000 mass. Take out the Awasa. 30,000 mass and ASF corpses. That's a huge amount. What have we got left? Well, we've got a crab which is doing a bit of good old fuck the ground. Loves it. It's walking right off that cliff. Gonna peek over the edge, I think, try and kill things. Another nuke is out from Resinoob. Question is, where's it going, and do they have loaded SMD? I know they've been fighting everything else. Have they had time to make an SMD and load it? Well, that one is not loaded. Not going to be loaded in time, and I don't see anything else. Where is the nuke going? Look, it's going straight into It's going to obliterate this army. Maybe it's going to actually try for Tagada, although I don't see any other nuke defense. Where is it going? I think it's going for where Tagada was. He's picked up a transport and he's run. Got himself into a transport, fleeing the scene. I know that nuke is carrying on. Looks like, nope, there it is. One SMD gonna go pop. And trying to rebuild the air grid, and just catches the edge of the Paragon. Oh my word. They were trying for a Paragon again. Just a little too close to that. Just a little too close. Right, another Awasa. Look at that. This bomb's going to land on here and kill 4 T3 mixes. Yes, it is going to do mass down damage, but now it's going to fly over a good giant chunk of SAMs. They're going to remove a lot of health from that thing. Half dead from flying over those. The air wing comes in to protect it from Resinoob, though, even as the ASS from RNA try and do their thing. And here goes a bit of an annoying hover bomb. Drop the bomb and stop to confuse the ASFs, give them less of a run. They can't drop in on the 6 into the reds, but the ASFs have run out and it's now free to go and kill more stuff. That's a decent bomber from going off map there. In the line of the bombing run, not quite so bad. And the restorers also moved around. But even as all of this is happening, what do we have going on up here? A ground push coming up from Hachmacha, so he has not been on. He's got the crab coming as well, but it is the bricks that need to either get closer or get away, because they sit there, they're just going to gradually die from the T2 air. And here is the Awasa again, and yeah, okay, that was a deliberate off map. It dropped the bomb here, then turned to go off map in that direction. I feel like that was maybe a bit more of a deliberate off map. That is kind of rude. I hear a second Awasa though, somewhere. We've got this one, which is doing its thing. It's hovering, doing the hover bomb thing, which is very micro intense if you're watching it and you're dropping the bomb. There it goes, bomb off sideways. Yeah, okay. Is it going to get killed by this SAM? No, probably not. Probably not. Restorer's doing a good job on here, but where's the... there's the other Awasa. It is trying to take care of the crab which has moved right on in. And that's a Billy nuke. Is that... Who's that from? That looked like a Billy nuke. Oh! He's in the water. RNA's in the water and he's Billy nuking from the water. That is hilarious. The Awasa is just still spinning around in circles, dropping bombs here, there and everywhere. Still got a few ASFs protecting it. Needs to come in with a group to try and take it out. Now there's a SAM down over here. And he's going to try and hover bomb that, I feel like. Nope, just loitering. Bomb is done. Drops it. Tries to go around. Just 3,500 health. That Owasa just will not die. Need a swarm of ASFs just to finish it off. These restorers are still floating around, picking off as much as they can. And the yellow army on the ground is stalled over the side. Air's just being too much. That Owasa has killed 175k mass. I wonder if it would have managed to do as much if it hadn't off-mapped. Dear oh dear. Just sort of loitering around though, wanting to try and get things. Another SAM has been placed up there. Oh yeah, no. No, that is a deliberate off-map there. No way that was not deliberate. And this was RNA getting out of the water. Yeah, no. That was a rule break. I'm sorry. He sent the Owasa off the map and came back to kill the ASFs. That's not good moves. Over this direction, it is RNA. He just gets off in time. The Continental gets shot down by some ASFs, and now Owasa is now over here trying to be problematic. That one's still doing its thing down there. We'll ignore that being on that front. Got a push coming up through the middle from Trith. Some Harbingers trying to do what they can. They're getting carved up by air though. In this direction, it is RNA is trying to get shield on his comms, so he's dispensed with the Billy because, well, it's no good anymore. And is he deep enough to avoid the Owasa bomb? The answer is no. The answer is very much no, and he's looking very unhealthy. But that shield is going to get him to survive another bomb drop. And as it comes back for another pass, into the bomb. The bomb must have fallen off map too, and he survives. And starts moving on for, well, there's some SAMs over here. It's going to be an annoyance. Spore Command is going to be taking us some damage, but RNA survives with all of that. The Owasa is still going. 300 kills. I'd still say the off-mapping was rude. So, nonetheless, it is just whipping around the place, destroying all of this. Can't afford to go anywhere else. There are so many SAMs on the map now. So many SAMs. In fact, let's just have a look. 59 SAMs for Truth. 94 SAMs for Tagada. So yeah, that Owasa is basically stuck there. It's just going to be sitting here killing off things in the corner. That's all it can do. In the meantime, this Owasa is trying to kill things at an edge as well, because the support commander's out trying to do SAM creep. And of course the SAM creep would be really irritating for an Owasa trying to get through, for these guys trying to get through. How's that nuke launcher? Are we just about loaded up again? Well, it's been loaded for a while. Now it's just a case of maybe trying to find a target, because there's enough SMDs around the place that it probably isn't going to help. Hello, Novax. Because why not? Novax and Scout. Omni up for defensive purposes. Another SMD being thrown up. I know they had SMD somewhere, and that's a Scathus. That's a Scathus 2/3 done for Hachimacha. So that's going to be a problem. But this ground force over here, well, that's a bit of a wasted nuke, because there's an airborne nuke coming and killing off all of that. Bit more coordination. There's already a satellite done here that is coming out from Tagada. So this ground force on the right is finally getting some traction. They are moving up. They're facing up against T1, but that nuke was definitely for all of this. Owasa flies over here just as the nuke lands. Maybe that's a bad spot to be. Oh. I guess that's going to be out of range in time. That army's dead though. The Owasa can now drop his payload on these guys. To split turn plenty of anti-air on the ground though. So you've got some Redeemers, you've got some Cougars down there. You're also going to take a bit of damage trying to take those on out. That is just continuing to go, this map. Those Restorers are obliterating anything they come across. There's almost no air for team number 2. It's pretty much nothing but Sam's ahoy. So they can't do air snipes either, thanks to those Owasas coming through. So many Sams. And what's this one going for? Well, it is looking to stop this Scathus, which is just about up. What's it heading for? It's trying to kill off... I don't know what it's going for. I'm guessing it was trying to kill the Scathus. Oh, it's gone for the SMD. Omni says one SMD is dead, but there's another one right here. right here, and it's loaded. So that has... There's another SD back here, but that's not loaded. Maybe I want to unpause that. Because now, their Scathus is up. I think that was their last ditch effort, because now the Scathus is up. Recent new control K's out, and there we go. I mean, it's just glorious. Frickin' Gatling artillery. How do you just... Will they stop firing? Oh, here we go. Oh, boom. Just fires off that mad spray of artillery rounds, and they... Where'd they go? Lost track of them. Another nuke out there. Question is, where is that nuke gonna go? I don't even know what can kill then. Oh, there's the Gathers rounds. They are just sort of disappearing. There they go. They've come back into focus though, and unshielded stuff dies horribly, especially when it's beside power. That nuke might get through. No, I'm sure there's an S&D around here somewhere, but in come the restorers. They're making a play for something, but they are passing through so many SAMs. The nuke is shot down by that S&D. It's just on the edge, just at the wrong spot. Can these restorers get anything done? Maybe they should have come in earlier to kill off the S&D before the nuke was fired. I don't even know what they're going for. They're trying to kill the Novaks of all things, but I don't think they're going to get through. There's just so many SAMs, although they have. Novaks is dying off. They're coming from the right angle, but a shield blips on just in the nick of time. Going to keep it alive there a little bit longer. Maybe just enough to keep it alive permanently. They do. 400 health. If you're looking to snipe, restorers are not the way. You got to go with strat bombers, and now it's the strategic missile launcher that is under threat from satellites. There they go. Exhaustion it down. 1, 2, 3, 4 satellites. And down goes the nuke launcher. In comes the Scathers fire. Says fuck you to a general area. I hear another Awassa. What's that going for? Well, it was going for the Scathers, I think, but it dropped just a little bit short. The Scathers lives. And Omniparatus, I think that was his last ditch effort to get something done, but he control K's out. He was under the water, and Scathers fire was coming from up there as well. Dear oh dear. Desync at the end. Let's not worry about that. Water game.